Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the party. Don't forget to drop a like on the stream, subscribe to the YouTube channel. What are they doing to the bell today, Duke?
You know what? They can just touch the bell today. They can just give it a little poke.
Give it a little poke.
Just a little poke of the bell. Listen, it might not be the best I've got, and to be honest with you, the kind of day that I'm having right now, it's probably about the best you're going to get. I'm not going to lie to you. I've kind of see. I'm 38 to go. Indeed, I am 6'1", and I have already had it up to here. I am full of the shit that I am having to deal with, and yeah, we need to hurry up and reach 1,000 because I need to retire from what I do for a living so I can do this full time because I'm about at it up to here.
Not too sure we'll be able to retire off of this, mate, but I like your optimism.
All right, as long as it can pay me bills. How's that work for you?
Might pay a bill for a pint of lager, I suspect. Right, that's probably about it.
Touche.
What can you do? But how you been, mate? You was actually I know we're here to talk about the Tottenham game, but you went to the Gent game as well, didn't you? As an added little bonus.
I did. I loved life. I'm not going to lie to you. So for those of you who don't know, and sadly, I'm just trying to find something on my phone while we do this. For those of you who didn't know, I was lucky enough to be offered the opportunity to go into the Forged Bar. In the
well, it's the Forge Bar, wasn't it? But you renamed it.
It was Forged for Forge. It was lovely. And I've got to be honest, the whole setup was outstanding. I have to say, I felt slightly uncomfortable going and hobnobbing, shall we say, with others. But that the experience was fantastic. So obviously we got the tickets and we arrived at the stadium, and we have to walk all the way around the other side. So that was a trek on its own, wasn't it? You know, all the way around to entrance B, which was the hospitality jobby. So we've gone in
next to where we go in. We go in entrance A.
Oh dear. So yeah. You're not quite at the posh part, but
not quite. No,
you can see it. You're closer to that than you are. We are to the ground, to the pitch side. Let's put it that way. So yeah, we got there. We went in, and I have to say, I've been to many home games and away games. Previous home games at Upton Park. Even here, I've been to a couple of home games here, and not once have I ever used an escalator to get up to my stand. Now,
really?
That being said,
I need an escalator.
That's what I did. I'm not going to lie to you. So we jumped on the escalator and up we went. It was great. We went through to the lounge, and as I said to you in the chat, Gatesy, John Moncur was there, Alan McKnight was there, Brian Deere was there, and Alan McKnight spoke to John Moncur about his split loyalties, his allegiance, obviously being a Yid and a Hammer, and I know it's still relatively early in the day, but I'm gonna quote John Moncur. Alan McKnight asked him where his loyalty's lying. He went, "Yeah, can I just say this then? We all ain't fucking Tottenham, don't we?" And the whole room just absolutely erupted because this was about 5 minutes after the full time of the Vitesse game, and obviously the whole place just erupted. It was so good. Got a couple of beers, went out the side door where you go find your seats, and there was a certain gentleman standing there. And I smiled at him, and he came over and he asked how I was. Yeah, it was great. A bit strange to be, with the to quote Rob, to quote you, Gatesy, the Hooray Henrys. And I told him
for riff raff.
Yes, and I did say to him I didn't have a clue where I was going, and he went, "Come on, let's go get you some up then." So he took us over to one of the stewards, who explained where we had to go. And I said to him, "You know what, before I go, I need to get a picture. I need to get a picture for my dad, my dad remembers watching this guy play in the '65 Cup Winners' Cup, and obviously there's the picture.
There he is, Stag.
Of myself, and it was really, really weird because he was such a nice guy. I know, like, he's obviously there to do a job, isn't he? As that, but he didn't have to turn around and say to me, "Come on, let's go find someone who can show you where you're going." He's just gone, "No, I ain't got a fucking clue either. Off you go, son." But he didn't. He took us to a steward. He, explained that, and it was just really nice. I stood there talking to him for a few minutes. Guy came over and he introduced, I think maybe his daughter, and he turned around and he went, "Oh, this is the guy that scored 5 goals in a game." And Brian Deere interrupted and went, "Excuse me, 20 minutes."
6. Oh, it's 20 minutes, yeah.
20 minutes. And I just absolutely pissed myself. Oh, that's brilliant. He was like, "Hold up." And I was like, "Can't take that away from you, can we?" And he went, "No." And he went, "Anyway, I'm gonna move on to the next guy sort of way," and shook my hand and we left. And it was so surreal because obviously I've been to training ground, I've been to training things at Upton Park when they had that, and I met the players there. But to actually stand there and talk to what I consider to be a living legend, if you will, or one of the few that we've got.
Yeah.
And then obviously we took our seats, and if I'm honest, when I stood up, I could see the silver mop of hair that was Trevor Brooking.
Nice.
Just below me, along with David Gold, David Sullivan. I think Jack Sullivan was there. We could see him with his stupid coat on with a big furry hood.
So you really were mixing with the big hitters.
We were probably, I think we were row 56. So we were, just up and behind. Real great view. I will say just quickly, and I don't know whether the young lad will, whether or not he subscribes. It's probably best he doesn't right now because I'm about to go to town. I don't know his name. He did call the first goal, actually. He said as everyone was getting up to go to the toilet and go get their pints and hot dogs and everything, pies and everything else, they're going to miss a goal here. And then obviously up steps Dawson with a lovely shoulder.
Yeah.
But he turned around. There was a ball out wide. Cresswell ran onto it. It was fairly early in the game. And he slipped over down the left-hand side. And to quote the young lad behind me, he's got no pace. He can't defend. What the fuck does he offer? And I sent that to you in a message, Gates.
You did, yes.
I'd just like to tell him what he offers. He offers the assists for the first 2 goals, Sunshine. So do me a favour, shut your noise. It was embarrassing, Rob. It was really embarrassing.
12 crosses during the match.
Yeah, I mean, he was a young lad. He was a young lad. I'd say he's probably 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
God knows how he can afford the season ticket maybe of where we were sitting because they're not cheap. I'm just letting you know that now.
Probably Daddy that was paying for it, I suspect.
Maybe. But to hear him turn, and I mean, Joe kept nudging me. Joe's sitting next to me and she's jibbing me in the ribs because I'm going, what the fuck's he talking about now? I can't fucking sit here. Oh, fuck, this is why I sit over the other side with the fucking normal people. This kid's getting them off. And I literally was, for the entire, I was like, I'm going to hit someone in a minute. Oh, my God, man, shut up. And then when he gave the free kick and obviously we got the second goal, I just turned around in my seat. I was like, that's why he's there. And I sat back and went back to watching the game. And then, less than a minute later, Bowen. But, I mean, it was great. But we're not here for that.
No.
So we're 10 minutes in, and I think it's Titch has just pretty much sat here and listened to me rabbit on about Genk for the last few minutes. But no, it was an amazing experience, and I did say
glad you enjoyed it.
And thanks to you, obviously, for putting me in contact with
that's all right.
with Gio. Because that was such a great night. I've had worse nights, you know what I mean? I've had worse nights. I met Brian Deere, sent a picture to my old man, and my old man was like you when I sent you the picture. Stag! He was like, he loved it. It was really nice. So I have to say, I am in the process of considering what I can do for a season ticket in the foreseeable future because
in the Forge Bar?
I'm not quite sure that I can afford just shy of $4,000 a season. Yeah.
Wow. No. Stay.
Well, there's two more now, Tix. There's two more. There's two more. So come on in. Anyway, enough of Genk and my little expedition on Thursday night. Let's move on to. Oh, by the way, I called 3-0. I called 3-0.
So did I.
And then I called 1-1 for. I've got the goal scorers completely wrong, but I called 1-1 for tomorrow. So let's see how that goes. Oh, can I just quickly? Some jammy bastard in the pub this morning.
Go on.
He had a tenner on. Chelsea.
Oh no,
5-0.
5-0. Oh, okay.
He had it. No, wait. It gets better. He had a tenner of Chelsea to win on 6-0 before the game kicked off. This is, and he had a tenner on Chelsea to win 7-0.
Oh bloody hell! Go on. What did he get?
So it got to 5-0 and he cashed out for 200 quid.
Oh no.
No. That was for the 5-0 bet, Rob. He cashed out his 5-0 bet.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he got 200 quid for it. It got to 6-0 when he cashed out his 6-0 bet and got 400 quid for it.
Oh.
And he cashed out his 7-0 bet at 7-0 for £986.
What would he have got if he hadn't cashed out? Does it make any difference?
He would have got 1,064. So for the sake of 80 quid, Norwich down to 10 men.
Yeah,
he weren't risking it, and I don't blame him. So all in all, we took just under 1,600 quid. Morning, afternoon.
1:20 a.m. Bloody hell, mate!
We
thank you.
30 quid, 1,600. I couldn't believe it.
Crumbs. Wow.
He bought everyone that was with him in that area where you were. In fact, it was the gentleman sat on the higher table in front of you earlier.
Oh, okay.
I was talking to him.
Yeah,
that was him. He took 1,600 quid.
I thought he looked happy.
Yeah,
Mr. Ben's joined us as well. How you doing, Scott? Hope you are well.
And it's 170. Well done.
Nice. Well done. 12 and a bit minutes in. Can we start talking about Tottenham now?
I was about to say, the guys that have joined us now have joined at the right time because now we're going to do the preview.
We've been chatting crap for the last nearly 13 minutes about the Genk game. Well, I say crap. I mean, it was a great. I'm glad you had a fantastic experience. I've got to say.
Oh, it was amazing, mate. It really was absolutely fantastic. Like I say, thank you to you. Thank you to Gio.
No. You're welcome.
Gonzo over at chat. So that was it was very nice. But
good. Right,
I'm playing spot today, by the way. I'm playing chef in my kitchen, so I'm looking at my watch just to see what time I have to be back. So let's do the review.
Let's crack on. Right, full screen. Let's get rid of that. Okay, this is what I suspect the team will be that takes to the pitch tomorrow. I see Fabianski coming back. There's some people that say it should be Areola. And as I say, I'm not saying this is necessarily the team I would pick. This is the team that I suspect David Moyes will pick. Back four, I suspect, will be Cresswell, Ogbonna, Zuma, Tufal. I do suspect that Tufal, if he's anywhere near being fit, I suspect he will get in at the expense of Ben Johnson, but we'll see. Declan Rice will have the armband, no great shock there, and he'll be partnered by Thomas Souček. And then in front of them, 4 nows left, Ben Rama in the 10 position, Bowman on the right, Antonio, I suspect, through the middle. I still haven't had, to be honest, I haven't really looked, if I'm being completely honest, because I've had so much on my plate. But the word was that he was down to start against Genk. He then didn't start against Genk and wasn't even involved on the bench. So I'm a little bit concerned, but I suspect he will, if he's, again, like Tufal, if he's anywhere near fit, he will start. And he will, I think he'll be crucial because I don't know whether you saw the opposition recon, and this is aimed at everybody, not just yourself, Duke. And if you haven't, go back and watch it with Tommy from Tommy Talks Ball. And he turned around and said defensively, Spurs can be got at. And he's actually really concerned about Antonio being able to bully Dyer and Romero. So I think that if we've got sort of like aspirations of winning tomorrow, it's imperative that Antonio plays. Your thoughts on that lineup?
Hey, listen, I've banged on for weeks about Areola and his command of his his box and everything else. Scared the shit out of me a couple of times against Genk when he decided to try and come and claim, and you're trying to claim against a guy that's 6'7". That being said, I'm really glad we didn't sign on Oachu because I thought he was shit.
Yeah, he didn't really do much, did he?
Game. They're number 7 and they're number 77 were the only two that really impressed me.
Ito looked good.
Ito looked good, and is it Fasado or whatever his name was?
Yeah,
the South American fellow, right back, really, really good, really impressive. Both
I think he was Ecuadorian, if I remember correctly.
Yes, they had 3 South Americans in the back.
They did.
But yeah, I mean, listen, I don't mind who starts tomorrow in goal, if I'm honest with you.
Okay.
Like I say, Fabianski doesn't like to command his box, his 6-yard box. Areola is a bit over enthusiastic with that bullshit, so slow yourself down, son. But again, you know, I don't think Areola was tested overly yesterday.
James.
I don't think Areola was tested against Genk. Obviously, they had the ball in the back of the net, but that was pretty much it. And I think that was partially down to us taking our foot and just stopping for a bit. But that side there, agreeing with what James from the Anvil just said there, it's our only strong 11. It's the only one you can really put out in the league, to be fair. I am hoping that Antonio is fully fit. I'm hoping that Soufal is fully fit. And the reason I say Soufal over Ben Johnson is Soufal has that, shall we say, naughty streak through him.
Experience.
Well, I'm going to say aggressive. And when you've got the likes of either Mora or Son that are there, he's going to turn around and go, listen, I'm here, clatter. A la Julian Dix, a la Thomas Repka, a la Neil Ruddock, for want of better words. He will rattle them, and then they might not want to do it again. Yep. Fornals on the left is going to be pivotal to supporting Cressy back there, along with Declan Rice, with either, again, Mora or Son coming down that wing. That being said, as a lot of other of channels have alluded to, and I certainly touched on, I think before the Genk game, tomorrow is massive for Spurs. Everyone bangs on about these games are our cup finals. Everyone says, all the Spurs fans, it's just because it's your cup final, blah, blah, blah. Listen, you made 10 changes and you dropped every single key player in your team.
I thought they made 11 changes.
So it might have well been 11, mate. So they had everyone rested up for tomorrow's game against us.
Yep.
They're worried. Nuno is panicking. I called it earlier today that I thought Daniel Farke's head will be the next one on the chopping block, because I've got a feeling that Norwich are going to have a worse record than Derby or Sunderland come the end of this season. It's really not looking pretty for them unless they get someone in soon to fix that mess. They're already in serious danger, but Daniel Farke, I think, he's out of his depth right now, and I don't think he's the man to fix that. That being said, if Spurs are not having a fantastic time under Nuno right now, and I'm not saying he'll be sacked. I think they will bear with him, but there's some serious questions going to be asked. And he rested every single one of his key players against Vitesse ready for this game, because he knows that 11 that are sitting on that page there, Robin, that screen in front of me, they can. I like it. Let me jump on. Listen, that side there have got the capability of putting 3 or 4 past a very poor Spurs side, and I think we can get at their back line. Antonio, Bowen, Benrahma. You know, Bowen and Benrahma are tricky customers. Bowen proved that yesterday, Thursday, coming in off of that right wing, that left foot into the bottom bins right after that second.
He's been threatening that all season, hasn't he?
He has, massively. Benrahma came off the bench and he looked like he was up for it. He wanted it. I'm very surprised Yama stayed on. I'm not going to lie. I would like to have, Lanzini came off. I was a bit disappointed there. But you know what? All in all, that was that the side put in a shift. This side here against a Spurs side, Zuma will bully the fuck out of Harry Kane tomorrow. Zuma will literally bully him. Harry Kane is not going to enjoy tomorrow against them two centre backs. He will not enjoy pulling wide to our right, their left, and coming up against Soufal. He's not going to enjoy that at all. He's going to have a rough day with that team tomorrow. Souček, he will make, if he drops deep, Souček and Rice will stick the foot in and cause him problems. I just, if I'm honest, this is probably the worst Spurs, not team, tactically inept manager for this Spurs side. He hasn't got the kind of players that he had at Wolves that worked. This is a completely different setup. He's got characters with egos and everything else, and I don't know how he's managing them. Kane doesn't look like he wants to be at Spurs anymore, if I'm honest. He looks well out of it. I think he had the City move already penned in, and then it didn't go through. That side there, mate, not only will give everyone a run for money in the Premier League, that's going to be a tough team for Spurs to break down tomorrow and to beat, in my opinion.
Well, we'll get the Spurs side up and you can run the rule over that. Again, this is what I suspect Nuno will kick out. And it's basically the same 11 that has been kicked out by Nuno in the last two league fixtures. Lloris in goal, the captain. Back four of Reguilon, Dyer, Romero and Emerson from left to right. Oliver Skip and Pierre Højbjerg in front of them. Son, Ndombele and Lucas in front. And then Harry Kane, the number 9. Now, as I say, on the opposition recon that I did with Tommy, as I say, he said the front line has looked absolutely tip top and will give us a test. As far as the back line is concerned, he thought that was the area of vulnerability that we could exploit. Are you pretty much on the same page as Tommy there?
Listen, they've got a centre-back whose footballing talent is indicative of his surname.
Fair enough, yeah.
I don't even know how he gets into the starting 11 of a team in the Premier League. I'm sorry.
I think there's a lot of Spurs fans that say that.
Without a doubt. I look at that side there, mate, right? And if you turn around and said to me, you can trade 2 for any 2 in our team, i.e. starting 11 for starting 11 that you put up, okay? Yeah. Of those, it would be Son. I would take Son.
Over Fornals, yep, I agree.
Fornals.
Yeah, I think Son's world class. I really do.
I don't even want to say Reguilon, but I'm looking at the rest of it and I'm struggling, mate. But I'm thinking with Cresswell's at the point, and as much as I'm defending, he's not the speediest of characters, is he?
Yeah.
He can defend well when he has to, but when he comes up against someone with pace, which is what concerns me tomorrow with Lucas and Son swapping, I'm not. You know what?
I'll tell you what. Let's go through it then. Just a little bit of fun. And you guys in the live chat, you can get involved in this as well and tell us your thoughts. The 2 11s that I've put up there. Okay, let's start with the goalkeeper, Duke. Lloris or Fabianski?
I think they're both as bad as each other. If I'm honest, they both have those. They have those mistakes in them in every game that they play in. If I had to pick, I'd probably stay loyal and stick with Fab. If I'm honest, just because it's a loyalty thing. But they're both, they're on their day, they're both as poor or as good as each other. So I kind of go 50-50 with that one.
Reguilon or Cresswell?
Probably go with Reguilon.
Okay.
Just because of the
Dyer.
age.
Yep.
Don't ask that question.
Dyer or Ogbonna? Go on. All right. Okay. I'll move on. Romero or Zuma?
I'd say Zuma. The reason I say Zuma is I think for his age and his price tag, I just think Zuma's the better option, the better deal for me. Romero cost them 42 million quid. I've seen a few mistakes that guy's played. They've been involved in over the game. So I think I'd have to go with Zuma on that one, mate.
Emerson or Tufal?
I haven't seen enough of Emerson, if I'm honest. I've heard some good things, but I love Tufal's style of play. I love his aggression. I love his drive, his determination. The stick the foot in on Grealish and get up. That kind. I love that in a player.
Fair enough. This is again. I apologise. Skip or rise?
No.
Okay.
Listen. When you put that up, and that guy was like, "Who the fucking hell is that guy?"
Yeah.
I turned into Conor McGregor. Like, I don't even know who he is.
To be fair, when Tommy said that he's actually been very good for them this season, so and when I actually went on Tommy's channel as well, Tommy Talks Ball, after we did the opposition recon, and I sort of made the point. I said, if on the basis of this season and on the basis of the fact that, and I'm going to come to that with you, Souček versus Højbjerg. Now, if it was to be the Souček that has been this season against Højbjerg, it's a much closer run thing. And I could understand that there could be a case for Højbjerg to get in ahead of Souček. If we were taking Højbjerg best version against Souček best version, it's no contest. It's Souček all day long.
Yeah, listen. I've got to say, I was very surprised when I saw that transfer go through. I didn't rate Højbjerg at Southampton. I thought he was just another, he was one of those, wasn't it? It was a good player in a poor team, essentially. Danny Ings, same thing.
Yeah.
Good player. In a poor team, and things are gonna stand out there. Now, I still take Souček, and the reason I still take Souček is you only have to look that it was 4 or 5 days ago, 6 days ago actually now, that Souček had holes in his face from some
he ate a boot, didn't he?
Studs, and he had plastic surgery on his lip. He had plastic surgery and whatever it was on his face, and he still went to Moyes and said, "I'm playing. You ain't fucking taking me out. I'm playing." That grit, that determination will walk into my team every time over someone that is a flair player. In that sense of the word, I will always want the grit and the determination, and a bloke that's willing to bleed for your side, and he's proved that over and over again.
He's done that a few times, yeah. Fornals or Son?
For as Kent has alluded to a bit further up, Son for the goal output, mate. To be honest with you, there's more goals. No disrespect to Pablo Fornals,
no,
and I certainly don't want him out of my club in any way, shape, or form. I love the guy, and again, he's another one of those players that will run himself into the ground for the shirt he's wearing. He will, but for outlay, it has to be Son.
Yeah, fair. And Ndombele or Benrahma?
Let's stick with Benny. Listen, I love Benny. I've got plenty of time for him this season. I think he struggled last year, but listen, no one takes him out that side from any other club in the Premier League. To be honest with you, I'd stick with him all the time.
Lucas or Bowen?
Right, huge fan of Lucas Moura. Huge fan. Mm-hmm. I really am. But again, I stick with Bowen. There's just something about Jared Bowen. I'm a big Lucas Moura fan, but then it's just so because there's something about Jared Bowen that just makes me think that he just needs a little bit of luck, and we're going to see this kid fly. I mean, the sky is his limit. It really is.
And this one could be quite a contentious one. Harry Kane against Michail Antonio. Now, again, I suppose if it was best version Harry Kane versus best version of Antonio, I suspect there's no contest. However, if we're basing it on the the competition, the Premier League, the first 8 games of the Premier League, Harry Kane against the first 8 games of the Premier League, Antonio, I suspect that the answer might be a little bit different.
If I'm honest with you, mate, and like a few in the chat, I take Antonio. And the reason I take Antonio is he's bullish, he's strong. He doesn't strop. He doesn't throw his toys out of his pram. He doesn't have a meltdown when things don't go his way. I've seen Harry Kane lose the plot a few times when free kicks don't go his way, or if he feels that he's been fouled and the referee's not been doing anything about it, he's not being protected. Antonio don't give a shit about that. Antonio, the only downside for me with Antonio at the minute was the way that he threw himself to the ground and got a cheap yellow card on the free kick. Antonio is bullish. Antonio is strong, and I guarantee you, he got a mouthful from Nolan and from Moyes, after that dive. But I just listen. I don't think the Harry Kane you're seeing at the minute, the Harry Kane that you saw at the tail end of last season, and the Harry Kane that we saw throughout the Euros, it can even hold a candle to Mikel Antonio this season. Okay. Mikel Antonio for me, again, bar your top 4, and by that I mean Chelsea with Lukaku. Man United with what they've got there, take your pick out of any number of forward players. Man City, Liverpool.
Actually, they haven't really got a proper striker, have they?
No, but again, is Antonio a proper striker? Here's the key for me on this one. He's an attacking player. I wouldn't call him an out-and-out striker. An out-and-out striker is someone like a Harry Kane, a Gary Lineker, a Michael Owen. Those sort of Tony Cottee, Frank McAvenny. They were out-and-out goal strikers.
I am not singing. No, we'd lose subscribers. We'd lose viewers. We'd get a load of dislikes. Me. Yeah. I'm not doing it. No, Titch.
I listen. I just. They're my West Ham side right now, and I will defend them to the hilt, and I will pick them over any.
He's blackmailing me. Look at this. He's trying to bribe me. Oh God, I'm gonna have to do it, aren't I? I am, aren't I? Okay. Ben Rama, oh Jared Bowen, Mikel Antonio, are your hammies still good to go? Right, I've done it. There you go, Titch. Now look what you've done. Now look what you've done, Titch. He's buggered off and left me. Look what you've done. Come back. Oh, there you go.
Is it over?
Look, no, come on. I had to do it. I had to do it. I was getting. I mean, Larry was. I can't let Larry down. I mean, he will start sending us photographs of his barbecue. Okay. I hope you're happy, Titch. I hope you're happy. So anyway, shall we move on to the next? As they said on the old Prime Minister's press briefings during the height of the COVID. Should we go next slide, please?
We can, and I'll just touch on that one from Kent. You know what, Kent? That's a fair comment, mate. Out and out strikers, yeah, you're right. They don't exist anymore. And I think
look, we got someone in from Kerala in India.
Quite, we're getting everywhere.
Hello, welcome.
Love it.
Welcome, and don't forget. Drop a like on the stream. Tell your friends. Put this stream onto your social media platform. I keep saying it to people, and I hope people do sort of put it onto their Twitter and their Facebook, because it's a magnificent way to spread the word to places that it otherwise wouldn't get. So please do.
In India.
Exactly. You'll have to forgive me, but your username is rather long, and I don't want to mangle it. So I'm just going to call you Anan.
I was going to call him Anan.
Yeah, Anan will do. That'll do.
It works.
I hope you're okay with that, Anan. And if you're not, please do tell me. And And exactly as Hammers Fans United, who's otherwise known as Titch, we call him Titch. Have you subscribed? If you haven't, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell icon. Okay, right. So that's our historical record against Tottenham Hotspur. 65 games won, 98 games lost, and 53 games have been drawn. I know what you're going to say. It matters not. Tomorrow's another game, different set of players, different manager, different mentality.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you can go back maybe 3 or 4 games, I will quite I'm quite happy. Nice,
good man.
You could go back probably 3 or 4 games in these. I think in the whole situation, and you only have to look. We were the first side to score an away goal at the new ground. We were the first team to beat them at that. In this, we've had some good games against them recently because we're up there holding our own now. So a lot of this now kind of, as I've said in other games, it kind of fades into the background now because I'm not interested in what happened in 1962 against Spurs in the the fair play bullshit. I'm not. It makes no difference to what we've got on the pitch now. It makes for some interesting reading. You kind of go, "Oh, that looks fucking awful." But then in the grand scheme of things, over the course of what's that? That's 100. That's over 200 games, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's only 33 difference between the wins and the losses. In the grand scheme of things, over 200 games, that ain't too sad. If that was over 34 games, you'd be pissed off. But it's not. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm confident because I think we've had some good games against them recently.
And that is the recent record. As you say that, ask and it shall be given. That is our last 10 fixtures. 3 wins, 2 draws, 5 defeats in and amongst it. However, a couple of them, as a mitigating factor, not an excuse, but a mitigating factor. Some of that is the Pellegrini era when we couldn't defend for love nor money.
Yeah,
it was just sort of like let's attack and let's not worry about defence too much.
I mean that 3-2 there in the League Cup was a bloody enjoyable game to watch.
That was the Wembley one, wasn't it?
That was the Wembley. Ogbonna with a header. Adrian come flying out of his net to come in. You've got the 1-0 there. A couple of years ago, first game of the season, and then you look at the 2 defeats in that, and you just kind of go, well, the November 2019, I was at that one, and we didn't get out of the blocks in that game, and I think against you, didn't they? Is that the one where they came in the last 10 minutes, both of our goals?
What which one are we looking at there?
The 3-2.
The defeat.
Yeah, the September.
That was
not the more recent one. The top one. That was that Mourinho's first.
What, 2017?
Yeah.
No, that was well before Mourinho. That would have been under Poch. 2017.
Yeah.
2019 one. I think that was. I think the 23rd of November 2019, if I remember rightly, that was Mourinho's first game as Tottenham manager, and we went 3-0 down, and they
November. No, it was November. No.
Oh, I don't know if this is your internet playing around or whether it's mine. I suspect it might be yours, but if it's mine, then it could well be that I'm talking to no one in particular, because you've frozen as far as I'm concerned. I don't know about the guys in the live chat. Has he frozen or is it me? No, I suspect it is him because he's just popped up there. Hang on, let me get rid of that. I was just saying to the guys in the live chat, yeah, you've just confirmed it, Larry. It is Duke. It's one of those things when you're doing this, guys, and that starts to happen. You sit here and you think, now either it's his internet or it's mine, and I'm not too sure which it is.
Listen, it's always mine. The kids are on the bloody. Kids are playing Fortnite. Grace has got friends around. They might be playing something, so it eats away. So yeah, it's
entertaining. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I think I've got nuggets for you, Duke, and it's a bumper crop. We've avoided defeat in both Premier League meetings with Spurs last season, winning one, drawing one. They haven't gone 3 league games without defeat against their London rivals since May 2006. History could be made.
Yeah, listen, I'm confident for tomorrow. I am. I can't help it.
Tottenham have won 3 of their last 4 visits to London Stadium, however, facing West Ham in the Premier League, although they did lose this exact fixture 2-1 last season. We know. Tottenham have lost each of their last 4 Premier League London derbies, good news, as many as they had in their previous 17 such games combined, where they won 7 and drew 6. Spurs haven't lost more consecutive league derbies since a run of 6 between March 2003 and January 2004. Do you like that one, Duke?
Yeah, again, I mean...
It's nice of you to say so, by the way, Neil, but I'm assuming you're on about the internet.
It's such a bad joke.
It is.
To be fair, I'm looking at it, and this side under Nuno don't worry me. It sounds bad, doesn't it? They don't worry me.
The thing is, when I had when I had Tommy, the Spurs fan, on, and I turned round and said, because Nuno is a disciple in a way of Jose Mourinho, because not a lot of people might know this, but Nuno was actually the reserve goalkeeper when Porto won the Champions League when Jose Mourinho was their manager in 2004. So he's very much learned, he's a disciple of Jose, if you will. Mm-hmm. And I turned around and said that, it just struck me as a rather odd appointment to get rid of Jose Mourinho and get an inferior copy of Jose Mourinho in. And Tommy just said that it was basically money. It was Daniel Levy saving a few quid. Stylistically, they're very similar managers, but just Nuno's going to be cheaper because he hasn't won 2 Champions Leagues and La Liga and 3 Premier Leagues and goodness knows what else.
Yeah, but let's not dick around. Let's take a look at Roma's result.
Mighty Bodo Glimt.
Yes. Played really well, didn't they? Mourinho's like, I'm inclined to, I just want to, he's right. Listen, it's not that I want to beat everyone.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose.
Oh, I want to beat everyone. I know it's not going to happen.
No. Listen, exactly. You've got to be, you've got to have that kind of winning mentality. I get that. But the way I'm looking at it right now, I'd rather go on a date with a man, Stephen. I'm not going to lie to you. I will be happy with a draw against Spurs on Sunday.
Yeah.
Given that it's Spurs. But as I said to you the other day, if the players cannot get up for a game of this nature, then they don't deserve to be playing. This game, in theory, should take care of itself with regards to team talks and anything else. Listen, as far as I'm concerned, I think that I think we can beat them. I think we've got the win in us.
Yeah. Benny McCarthy was striker for Porto. Yeah, he was. But what I'm saying is that he is. Nuno is a pragmatic style of manager. He's not a sort of like, he's not a Pep Guardiola type of manager. He's not I'm talking in terms of the football that his teams generally serve up. Yeah. I mean, again, Tommy, if you go and look on the opposition recon, he turned around and said that he's been in contact with, he has contact with a lot of Wolves fans, and they all said the same thing, that the football was very, very boring, very safety first. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, that's Jose. It is, So there you go. Anyway, that was his take on it, and I tended to agree with him. If you see it a different way, Ken, not a problem. That's absolutely fine, and we move on. Anyway, saying about moving on to the next slide, we have lost our last 2 home league games both by a 2-1 scoreline, and thanks to winners in the 89th minute versus Manchester United and the 90th minute versus Brentford. We have not lost 3 consecutive at home in the Premier League since a run of 4 under Manuel Pellegrini in December 2019, his final 4 such games at the club, one of which I believe was that 3-2 home loss in that we had on one of the previous slides. Also, as a little side note, both of those defeats also came after European matches. Is that a concern, Duke?
We need to try and break the consistency of all of this. We kind of we struggle after coming back from European games. Now, Spurs have had about 3 hours extra rest than us, but then they've also had to travel back. So, all right, it literally is.
Yeah, but it's their reserves that have travelled back.
Yeah, but again, I don't know whether those players went or not. You know, this is the thing.
I looked at the bench and I was looking at the bench and going, I've got no idea who this lot on the bench are. I mean, they played a kid up front I've never heard of, to be honest. A guy called Scarlett. Is it Dane Scarlett? I think his name was, or something like that. Never heard of him. All right, I'm not a Spurs fan, so I don't know. He might be the next big thing, but right now I've never heard of the kid. So,
I mean, Lawrence has got a fair point there. We've rested more players this time around than we have done for quite a few games, and we still got the job done. Still slightly concerned that Souček and Rice are literally going full tilt. I think, you know, maybe once we get round the other side, maybe once we get round the other side of the Genk game, we'll look at starting to rest, you know, a couple of the players.
Because the last two become dead rubbers, if you will, don't they?
Yeah. So,
not that I sort of want us to go out, you know, and put out a load of kids and reserves, but I can understand it happening.
Listen, if we've got the group wrapped up, then we've got the group wrapped up.
Yeah. Put David Martin in goal, whatever. Move on to the next slide. Okay, none of Tottenham's last 14 Premier League games have ended level, winning 9 and losing 5. It's their longest run without a draw in the competition since a run of 32 between April 2018 and February 2019. Again, not really a stat that means an awful lot, I think.
No, listen, I think at the end of the day, where I'm sitting with this and where I'm sitting with the whole situation, I'm at a point now where, you know what, we get this game out of the way tomorrow. We've got to focus on tomorrow. That's the be all and end all.
Yeah.
And as far as I'm concerned, once we walk out on that pitch tomorrow, nothing else matters. It's that simple. Nothing else matters. We have to go out there, and the full focus of this team has to be on Spurs. Then, once that's out of the way, once that full-time whistle's blown, then we can go, right, okay, what are we doing against City on Wednesday night? Once that's done and dusted, we talk about Saturday or Sunday, whatever it is next week. It's got to be the full focus on each game, regardless of who's playing. We can't be looking at going like Spurs did. Let's not lie. Spurs did exactly this in the Vitesse game. They're looking at it and they're going, okay, we've got Vitesse here. What's around the corner? West Ham. Shit. Okay, let's swap everything out. West Ham's the bigger game. West Ham's the more important game. Let's not mess around. So they've done that. Whereas I think Moyes looked at Genk and went, okay, it's a tough game. I'm going to pick this side.
Yeah.
But outside that, he was confident we're going to beat them. And then as soon as that game was finished, okay, what's next? And, you know, we'll notice that when the team sheets come out at about up us 12, I think tomorrow. I think we're 2 o'clock kickoff, or are we the last
2 o'clock
tomorrow?
Yeah, so it's normally about an hour before, isn't it?
Yeah, about up us 12, 12:45, I think the team sheets will come out. And we'll know more then as to what Moyes' plan was. You know, obviously, or what his plan's going to be.
Yeah.
Like I think Kent's just said there. Kent, he's put obviously against City. Listen, I am all for going at both cups full tilt at the moment, and I mean full tilt. We'll worry about City once this game's out of the way, and we'll talk about that in a video coming up. But I expect us to go full tilt against it. But I expect that tomorrow. I expect what you've picked out there, Gacy, as what the team you think Moyes will pick. I think is exactly the team that I think we'll go with.
Fair. Got another nugget. No side has used fewer different players in the Premier League this season than us, with 18 players used, with David Moyes' Hammers also making a league low 4 changes to their starting lineups this term. Yes.
It goes back to what someone said earlier in the chat. James from the Anvil.
James, wasn't it? Yeah. That is the thing that does concern me. Is that, I know Crowell obviously had COVID or has COVID, whatever. I do think he's been a little bit underutilized, though, in fairness. That's just one example I can think of off the top of my head.
But then it's the same with Areola and Fabianski. I feel that Areola's been underused. I also feel that, Vlasic is being underused, considering that, he could be coming off the bench a lot more. There's a lot of social media attention on Vlasic at the moment. Is he becoming an expensive fringe player? Pretty sure we both sat here and said that about Benrahma last year, did we not? It was an expensive. He's an expensive player to be on the peripheral. And look at him this season. So let's not get too carried away. In the grand scheme of things, Vlasic has only been here, the equivalent to 5 minutes. So he needs time to bed with the players. He needs time. It's the same as what we said with Benrahma. Benrahma needs to show Moyes in training last year. He obviously did that. He's now one of the key players and one of the first names on the team sheet now. Whereas Vlasic at the moment, I think, is in the same position as what Benrahma was last year. So we'll see him come good. I'm not concerned about that. It's just a case of what follows. But I quite like the fact that Moyes doesn't want to change or tinker with the side, whether that's lack of options or whether that's just no, this is my team and this is how I'm going to play and this is what we're going to do. I couldn't tell you, but I like the fact that we have a set starting 11, and bar injuries or unavailability through bookings or anything like that. That's the word, suspension. I couldn't think of the word. Then I don't see any reason to change what is a winning formula.
Absolutely. Have I got any more nuggets? I can't remember. Yes, I have. Tottenham's Harry Kane has only scored more Premier League goals against Leicester with 15 than he has against us with 11, although only 3 of those have come away from home.
Again, we have a habit of being kind and gifting goals to strikers. Let's not lie. Fernando Torres against Chelsea's one that springs to mind.
God, yeah, I remember that.
So I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it in the slightest. Tomorrow he scores tomorrow. He's doing his job, isn't he? If he doesn't, then questions need to be asked as to why he still starts. He's a striker. He jobs to score goals.
Yeah, wow. But I think it's a situation there, Duke, where I don't think they can put him on the bench, can they? He's so he's such a valuable.
You can put on the bench. Of course, yeah. Not being funny, Cristiano Ronaldo started on the bench for United. It's the same concept, is it not? It's Cristiano Ronaldo, mate.
Yeah, but he's 36. I mean, Harry Kane's 28. I guess it's slightly different. If he's not doing a job, it's the same as Gareth Southgate. Pisses me off with Gareth Southgate. I pick players by form.
So why is Harry Kane continuously in your fucking squad then?
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Yeah, of course he doesn't. He says he does.
There are exceptions to that mantra.
Of course, yeah, but listen, it can't be one rule for one and one rule for the other. Kane is having possibly his worst start in a Spurs shirt to a season. Am I wrong?
It can it can be one rule for one and it can be one rule for the other if it suits. That's the truth. That's the truth.
But it doesn't suit.
No, I know, but you know what I'm getting at, didn't you? You know, they just make it up as they go along. You know. Next nugget, I think this is the last one. I think there's one more after this actually. West Ham's Michail Antonio has scored more Premier League goals against Spurs than he has versus any other side with 5. 3 of those goals have been scored in 1-goal victories and have been worth 6 points to West Ham, obviously, while the other 2 were scored in 3-2 defeats.
Listen, he's big Mikel. He'll score when he wants. And he'll score against Spurs tomorrow. Of course he will.
Not just does he score goals, he also sort of like it's the opportunities he creates. He's also someone that creates an awful lot of opportunities for the players around him. You know, he punches holes in backlines. Yeah.
He's a nuisance, without
massively. Massively. I think I got one more. Yes. No, 2 more actually. Yeah, whatever. Son Heung-min's goals with 4 and assists with 1 have been worth 8 points to Tottenham in the Premier League this season, more than any other player in the competition so far this term. I make no apologies for saying this. I love watching Son play. I know he's a Tottenham player, but taking my West Ham specs off for a moment and just looking at it as a football, a lover of football, I think he's a brilliant player to watch. I think he is world class.
I think he's fantastic. I love him. He plays with such a.
We'd love him at West Ham. Absolutely, he'd be the sort of player we'd absolutely drool over.
Oh, listen, he plays with such a passion for the game, regardless of what shirt he's wearing. He plays with such a passion for the game, and you can see it means the world to him. And he just wants to play football. You saw, when he had the bad injury.
Was it Andre Gomez, wasn't it, at Everton, where he snapped his leg?
And there was nothing in it. There's everyone going, Heung-min Son meant that. Look, what's your challenge? Not in the slightest. No chance.
He has got a little bit of a nasty streak in him, though. He, people do sort of like paint him as a little bit of as a nice guy, and I'm sure he is a nice guy. But to be a Premier League footballer, you have to have a little bit of steel about you to operate at the top level of a Premier League player.
Listen, don't disagree with that, but he's certainly not. How can I put this? Remember David Beckham when he used to play, and if he got tackled and he went down like a sack of shit, expecting to get a free kick, didn't get the free kick. He did it several times for England as well. He'd get up, he'd chase back, and he'd deliberately give away a foul.
Yeah,
he wasn't aiming to get the ball. He was done wrong, and he was going to snap some fucker.
He's going to even it up. Yeah, I remember that.
Son doesn't do that. Son doesn't. Son hasn't. I've not seen that in him. Okay, that tackle against Gomez, he wasn't trying to foul the player.
No, it was a bad challenge.
It wasn't even a bad challenge. It was just completely accidental. Things coincided that I think he bounced off of one player into, if I remember rightly, I think he did bounce off of one player into, this is Gomez, bounced off of someone into Son or something along those lines, and it was the change of direction from where Son was coming from into Gomez that created a perfect storm, if you will, in the same way that I want to say Aaron Ramsey, Luke Campbell, maybe,
or David Boost, or Eduardo da Silva.
I tell you what, I'll go for.
Go on,
Luke Nilis.
Oh, yeah. That was bad.
His leg wrapped around. That was Wright, wasn't it?
That was Richard Wright, for Ipswich, when he was at Ipswich,
Villa,
and Nilis was at Villa, That was horrible.
These things happen, and it just takes the No, we could have kicked him anywhere else, or if he'd gone for the ball a millisecond later, Nilis's leg wouldn't have wrapped around Richard Wright's boot, or you kind of. Listen, I probably don't disagree with that. It's not necessarily wanting to win at all costs, but I think you
have to have that ruthless streak.
I think because your desire to win sometimes clouds a little bit of judgment, I think.
Yeah.
And then, you probably do something that you probably wouldn't normally do any other time. But listen, he's a cracking player. I've got a lot of time for him. You can see what it means to him to play football at both international level. I mean, against Germany, he had an absolute blinder, didn't he?
I think so, yeah.
I think he scored the winner. I say he scored the winner. He got the final goal in the game when Korea beat Germany back. I think it was the World Cup.
World Cup, wasn't it, in Russia?
But you can see how much it means to him to just be playing. So, I hope he has an absolute same as Lucas Moura, who I enjoy watching. I hope they have their worst games of their careers tomorrow. I really do.
Yep. Until they next play us.
Yeah, exactly. And then it needs to be a worse one than the one before.
Absolutely. But yeah, no, brilliant player, to be fair. I think I'm fairly sure this is the last nugget. I know I've said it the previous couple, but whatever. West Ham pair, Said Benrahma and Michail Antonio, have created 17 chances for each other in the Premier League this season, which is more than any other duo in the competition. They're in, the pair of them are in majestic form, I think it's fair to say, Duke.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's only the team we're playing tomorrow have a very similar pairing in Kane and Son. Obviously, they take their chances there too, but at the moment have not been taking them. A completely different scenario if they did. But they're on. The connection is second to none at the minute. The reading of the game between each other of them. Playing off of each other. It's like they know. Benrahma knows what Antonio's going to do when he's got the ball. I don't even think Antonio knows what he's going to do when he's got the ball. Let alone maybe trying to score from the halfway line and hit an astronaut. Other than that, it's a struggle to see whether he knows what he's doing. But no, the pair of them, they obviously work hard in training on runs and movement and stuff. And good luck to them. I just hope that long may it continue.
Bookies don't get things wrong very often, do they?
Go on, what you got?
Well, here we go. Full-time result. Ooh. We are 13-10 favourite. Tottenham are 2-1. The draw you can get for 5-2. This is according to Bet365. Other bookmakers are available, but if Bet365 would like to talk to us, our communication devices are always on, aren't they, Duke?
They are indeed. I'll take it all day long.
Those have a look at the goal.
Are very close. They are very, very close.
Yeah, I mean, we're obviously favourite. I'm guessing it's home advantage, and the fact that we finished above them last season might skew it. But it's I don't know where my money would. I think my money would have to go on obviously a home win, but. I think there could be a bit of value in the draw, in fairness.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
So, on that, what are you thinking as a score prediction? And again, you guys in the live chat get involved with this. What's your full-time score?
2-1 West Ham. I had it at 1-1. During the Ghent game, I had it there, but I think I'm going to up my game, and I'm going to go 2-1 West Ham.
Okay, and I know you've got to dash, so I will do the last couple of slides. So you go and do your duties, and I'll do the last couple, mate.
Thank you very much, everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining us. I shall see you all. Maybe tomorrow, maybe Monday. It just depends. Obviously, I am playing chef at the moment. and I've got the young girl downstairs having a moan because I was supposed to be back 15 minutes ago so she could have her break. We have a 40-person birthday party.
Oh, look who's joined in.
Oh, she can piss off. I mean that. I'm going to buy her a hippo suit.
Yeah, me and all.
I shall see you tomorrow again. Speak to you tomorrow. All of you guys in the chat. Lots of love to you, and I will speak to you all very soon. Take it easy.
Take care, mate. Right. So we've got Lawrence has obviously gone 3-2 West Ham. Neil's gone 2-1 West Ham. Some bird called Diane. She's got the same surname as me. She's gone 2-0 to the Spuds. Yeah. That is my wife. What can I say? So yeah, I mean, I think, do you know what? I've got, looking at the value there, I can't bet against my team. I simply can't. But I do look at the draw and think, if I had a fiver in my pocket and I fancied a flutter, 5-2, yes, of course I want West Ham to win. Don't get me wrong, but 13-10, is there much value in that? There's more value in a 5-2, so I could see that. And to be fair, I mean, sort of Kent said it earlier. He said a Desmond, so 2-2 draw wouldn't shock me. Top goal, first goal scorer. Let's have a little look here. Don't know if you can see. Tell you what, hang on. Let me try and magnify it. Yeah, I think you can probably see that a bit better. Let me go full screen as well, if that helps, and I will turn that banner off. This is a courtesy of Bet365. Do excuse me. Harry Kane's top of the pile to score anytime. He's 21-20. Almost an even money shot. Michail Antonio is 7-5. They've got Andre Yarmolenko on the list, which is quite surprising at 21-10. Dane Scarlett. Now, he was the kid that I saw played up front for Tottenham against Vitesse in the Europa Conference League. He's the same odds as Heung-min Son. I mean, I don't think he's going to set foot on the pitch, quite frankly, whereas Heung-min Son, I think that's decent value again. 9-4 for Heung-min Son. Jared Bowen, 9-4. Nikola Vlasic, 9-4. Staying with Steven Bergwijn, but again, he's not really played much this season, so I'm not too sure about that. Saeed Benrahma, 5-2. I like the look of that. I think that could be a sneaky little punt. What do you guys think on that list? If you had to pick, you've got a fiver in your pocket, and you want to try and get maximum value, anytime goal scoring bets. Harry Kane, 21-20. Michail Antonio, 7-5. Heung-min Son, 9-4. Jared Bowen, 9-4. And Saeed Benrahma, 5-2. Where's your money going, people? Where's your money going? Larry's come on. Yarmolenko. Yes, I know. I think that's quite an odd bet. I really do. So you're going Bowen with your $5. Well, it'd be $5, I guess, wouldn't it? Where you are, not £5, but whatever. So $5 on for Jared Bowen at 9-4. I think that's a decent bet, to be honest, Larry. I think that'd buy you a couple of extra sausages for the old barbecue, mate. So, but yeah. What about you, Neil? Are you still there? Where would your five Australian dollars go? I think I'd probably go 5-2 on Benrahma. I really do. I think if I had a five. Now that's probably the right answer, to be fair, Neil. That probably is the right answer. You've made Lawrence laugh at least. Yeah, I think I'd go 5-2. I think I'd go by Benrahma. I think he's been in good form this season, and I think he's probably due a goal. I think. Yes, I do have one more thing to show you people before I trot off. That is the Premier League table. Chelsea head it. This shot was taken probably about an hour ago. So it obviously was while the Wolves game was still ongoing, and obviously there are fixtures that are going on at the minute which are going to change things. But just scrolling in a little bit, there we are in 9th with 14 points. Tottenham are in 7th place with 15. So if we win tomorrow, we go above them. We could potentially go to 4th, I do believe, if results go the right way. But there you go. Anyway, I'm going to disappear off now because I've been rabbiting away for what seems like an eternity, but it's only been an hour and 10 minutes just shy. Excellent day for Chelsea and English players. Yes, Yeah, not so good if you're a Norwich fan, no, Mr. McCready. Not so good. But as soon as that player got sent off, I turned around to my son and went, this could be really bad. And Chelsea do look strong, Larry. I said before a ball being kicked in the Premier League, someone asked me, and I turned around and said, do you know what? I think Chelsea are going to win the Premier League this season. And although I know a lot of people that are Chelsea fans have turned around and said, yeah, but we're not playing well. But you're still top. Now, if Chelsea are top when they're not playing well, what the hell are they going to do when they click? I think it's Chelsea's title this season. There's a long, long way to go, but I just think they look mighty impressive. They have an awful lot of depth in their squad. They're European champions, so it's not like they're complete mugs. They're they're my favourites to win the Premier League. Anyway, I digress. So tomorrow, 2:00 kickoff. I'll be going. As I say, you can go back on the YouTube channel. If you haven't already seen it, please do check out the opposition recon I did with Tommy, the Tottenham fan. And please do check out his YouTube channel, Tommy Talks Ball. Although it's a Tottenham channel, he's a really lovely guy, and it'd be nice to just bump up his numbers a little bit. I'm very much of the opinion that, share the love. Tommy's helped us. I helped Tommy, and everything sort of like moves like that. What goes around comes around. I'm a big believer in that. So yeah, please do check out his YouTube channel, and you can also follow him on Twitter. Go back and have a look at the opposition recon. You can have a look at the match vlog that I did for the Genk game, and obviously I'll be doing one for tomorrow's match as well. And what's that, Mr. McCready? 4 points at the moment. Is that it? Is that all I'm getting? Well, listen, there's still a few. Are there any matches still going on? Please tell me. You've got 6, have you? There you go. You're catching me up, mate. You're catching me up. 4-2. Okay. Yeah, I think Chelsea are going to win it, but we'll see. Right. I have been rambling on for long enough, but don't forget, this campaign is still ongoing. This young lady who turned 7, it was her 7th birthday yesterday. So please don't forget that this is still an ongoing campaign. Copy and paste it. The information on this banner is in the description below YouTube and Facebook. You can copy and paste it, put it onto your social media platforms. This family still needs our help fundamentally. Doesn't matter if you're a West Ham fan to me. Doesn't matter if you're a football fan. Couldn't care less, but if you're a decent human being, please do this one thing. It doesn't cost you a penny to just copy and paste the information that's in the description on YouTube and Facebook that's on this banner. Put it onto your social media platform. Put a little note on there. There's a 7-year-old girl that is battling a cancer for which there is no treatment in the country that she resides. So, there's all the sort of things that the family are trying to do in terms of, treatment and everything else that pertains to keeping this young girl fit and well and keeping going and all the rest of it. So please put it on your social media platforms. If you've got a couple of quid in your pocket and you think this would actually be a good place to put it, you've got the Just Giving link there. Knock yourself out. And I thank you as always very much indeed for your attention. Cheers, Neil. Do appreciate it. And I'm sorry that we woke you up at an ungodly hour, but as the song goes, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, I guess. Larry, thanks for watching, mate. I look forward to seeing some of your shots on Twitter of your barbecue. Mate, honestly, I've never been to Auburn, Alabama. If you showed me a map of the United States and said, try and find it on there, mate, I wouldn't have a clue. But I'll tell you what, if ever I make it to your part of the world, I'm coming round and I'll bring a couple of steaks and I'll slap it on the barbie and I'll let you do your magic, mate, because I tell you what, it looks absolutely majestic. Anyway, I am going to disappear. Have yourselves a great weekend. Hopefully 3 points for West Ham tomorrow. Good performance at the very least. Let's get it done. Come on, you Irons.